I, 42M, met Brianna, 42F, during our senior year of high school back in 1999. She was the head cheerleader, popular with everyone, and dated most of the football team before me. I played football too but kept to myself most of the time. My mom had passed away when I was 13, and between helping my dad stay sober and keeping our house running, I did not have time for dating. Everything changed after I scored the winning touchdown at the state championship. Suddenly, Brianna started showing interest in me. She would wait by my locker, sit with me at lunch, and eventually ask me to take her to prom. I was surprised someone like her would notice someone like me, but I said yes. That was the start of our relationship. We stayed together through college. I worked construction during summers to pay for my education while she lived in the dorms with her parents' money. When she got pregnant with Emma at 22, we got married in a small ceremony. My dad, who had been sober for 10 years by then, walked her down the aisle since her own father refused to attend. He never approved of me, saying his daughter deserved better than a construction worker. I worked hard over the years, moving up from regular construction worker to foreman, and finally to site manager. We bought a nice house in a good school district, and I made sure Emma had everything she needed. Brianna stopped working after Emma was born, saying she wanted to be a full-time mom. The first signs of trouble started when Emma was around 15. She showed more interest in learning things from me than doing typical teenage girl activities with her mom. I taught her basic car maintenance because I believe everyone should know how to change a tire or check their oil. Brianna complained that I was turning our daughter into a mechanic. Then Emma wanted to learn self-defense. After hearing about an incident at her school where a girl was harassed, she asked me to teach her what I knew from my boxing days. I still train at the local gym 3 times a week and compete occasionally in amateur matches. Emma turned out to be a natural athlete. Brianna hated it, saying no boy would want to date a girl who could punch better than him. But cooking was what really set Brianna off. I learned to cook out of necessity after Mom died. Dad worked 12-hour shifts at the factory to keep us afloat, and I got tired of microwave dinners. By the time Emma was born, I could make pretty much anything from scratch. Emma loved helping me in the kitchen from an early age. 3 years ago, Brianna started making comments about how cooking was women's work. She said I spent too much time in the kitchen for a man. When I would bake cookies with Emma after school, she would roll her eyes and say I was more like a mom than a dad. The comments got worse over time. She started criticizing everything about me that did not fit her idea of masculinity. I do not drink alcohol because of my dad's past struggles with alcoholism. She told her friends I was boring and antisocial because I stayed sober at parties. I drive a small hybrid car to work because it saves money on gas. She said real men drive trucks or sports cars. When I pointed out that I also own a pickup truck for work and a motorcycle for weekend rides, she said those did not count because I did not use them as my daily vehicle. Even my taste in music became a target. I mostly listen to rock and classic hip-hop, but living with a teenage daughter means I also know the words to every Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande song. Brianna recorded me singing along to Shake It Off while cooking once and showed it to her friends, mocking me for knowing girl music. The situation reached its breaking point at Emma's 18th birthday party last month. Emma is a huge Harry Potter fan, so I spent weeks planning a themed party. I converted our backyard into Diagon Alley, complete with a replica of Ollivander's wand shop that I built myself. I even learned to make British foods like shepherd's pie and treacle tart from scratch. During the party, I overheard Brianna telling her friends how embarrassing it was that her husband was more excited about Harry Potter than their teenage daughter. She said I needed to grow up and act like a man instead of getting involved in childish things. Later that night, after the guests left, she really laid into me. She said none of her friends' husbands would ever do something so immature. According to her, I was setting a bad example for Emma by not being traditionally masculine. She ended her rant by saying she was tired of being married to someone who acted more like a teenage girl than a grown man. I spent that night in our guest room, thinking about our marriage. I realized this was not just about the party. For years, Brianna had been trying to change fundamental parts of who I am. She wanted me to stop cooking, stop sharing interests with our daughter, stop being myself. The next morning, I packed some clothes and moved into a small apartment near my work site. Emma came to help me set up the basics. She told me she had noticed her mom's behavior getting worse and was proud of me for standing up for myself. Since I left, Brianna has been alternating between apologizing and attacking my masculinity. She texted saying a real man would come home and fix his marriage instead of running away. When I did not respond, she started calling my friends and family, telling them I was having a midlife crisis. I blocked her number after she sent a particularly nasty message about how no woman would ever want a man who bakes cookies and watches Harry Potter. Emma says her mom has been badmouthing me to anyone who will listen, claiming I abandoned my family. Part of me wonders if I made the right choice. Did I throw away a 24-year marriage over some comments? Should I have tried harder to change myself into the man she wanted me to be? But another part of me feels relieved. For the first time in years, I can just be myself without constantly being criticized. Emma visits me almost every day after school. We cook dinner together, watch movies, and talk about her college plans. She seems happier too, saying the apartment feels more like home than our house ever did because there is no tension in the air. I know I should probably file for divorce, but taking that step feels so final. How do you end a relationship that has been part of your life since you were 18? Am I overreacting to what Brianna might just see as harmless comments? Any advice would be appreciated. Update 2. It has been a month since my last update, and the situation has gotten much worse. Just when I thought Brianna could not stoop any lower, she proved me wrong. Last week, she showed up at my construction site unannounced. I was in a meeting with clients when my assistant told me there was a disturbance at the front gate. I walked out to find Brianna screaming at our security guard, demanding to see me. When she spotted me, she started yelling about how I had ruined her life and turned Emma against her. She blamed me for Emma moving out and refusing to speak to her. According to her twisted logic, I had manipulated our daughter into taking my side. My coworkers watched in shock as she called me every name in the book and accused me of destroying our family. Security had to physically escort her off the property. She was still screaming as they led her to her car, telling everyone who could hear that I was a terrible husband and father. Several of my crew members came to check on me afterward. They have worked with me for years and know the kind of person I am, but it was still embarrassing to have my personal life exposed like that. I thought that was the end of it, but I was wrong. Later that day, Emma called me in tears. Apparently, after leaving my work site, Brianna went straight to Emma's school. She convinced the front office to let her speak with the school counselor, Mrs. Thompson, by claiming she had concerns about Emma's well-being. During this meeting, Brianna told Mrs. Thompson that I was an emotionally abusive parent who had manipulated Emma into hating her mother. She claimed I had isolated Emma from her friends and family, and that my masculine hobbies like boxing were actually signs of violent tendencies. Thankfully, Mrs. Thompson has known Emma since her freshman year. She has witnessed firsthand how close Emma and I are, and how Emma would often come to her office upset about her mom's treatment of me. She did not believe Brianna's claims for a second. Still, she felt obligated to inform Emma about the visit. That same evening, I received a call from Claire, Brianna's sister. She had heard about the incidents at my workplace and Emma's school, and felt she needed to tell me something. What she revealed changed everything I thought I knew about my marriage. According to Claire, Brianna only started dating me in high school because she was pregnant with her ex-boyfriend's baby. This ex was a college guy who wanted nothing to do with the baby or Brianna. She needed someone stable and reliable to marry quickly, and I fit the bill perfectly. 2 months before our wedding, Brianna had a miscarriage. Claire said she expected Brianna to call off the wedding since there was no longer a reason to marry me. But Brianna decided to go through with it anyway because I had good career prospects in construction and came from a stable family background, despite my dad's past issues with alcohol. This revelation explained so much about our marriage. It explained why Brianna always seemed resentful of my close relationship with Emma. Every time she saw us together, she was reminded that I could be a good father, something her ex apparently could not be. It explained why she never seemed fully invested in our marriage, why she always treated me like I was not good enough. Claire apologized for not telling me sooner. She said she had always felt guilty knowing this secret, but Brianna had sworn her to silence, threatening to cut her out of her life if she ever told me the truth. After seeing how Brianna was trying to destroy me now, Claire could not keep quiet any longer. I have not told Emma about this revelation yet. She is already struggling to process her mom's recent actions, and I do not want to add to her pain. My lawyer advised against using this information in the divorce proceedings unless absolutely necessary. He said proving it happened so long ago would be difficult, and it might just make the proceedings more contentious. The divorce is moving forward, but Brianna is fighting me every step of the way. She is demanding alimony, claiming she sacrificed her career to be a stay-at-home mom. My lawyer says her recent behavior and attempts to damage my reputation will work in my favor when it comes to the settlement. Emma is doing her best to stay strong, but I can see how much this is hurting her. She is supposed to be excited about starting college in the fall, but instead, she is dealing with the fallout of her mom's lies and manipulation. We spent a lot of time talking about it, and I keep reminding her that none of this is her fault. Update 3. 4 months have passed since my original post. A lot has changed during this time. The divorce was finalized last week after months of legal battles. Brianna tried to claim emotional abuse in court, presenting screenshots of texts where I ignored her attempts to contact me after moving out. She also brought up how I turned Emma against her and embarrassed her in front of her friends by leaving. The judge did not buy any of it. My lawyer presented evidence of her lies about me at work and her attempt to manipulate Emma's school counselor. The defamation accusations about me and my coworker also worked against her. In the end, she got a much smaller settlement than she wanted. No alimony, just her share of our house sale and retirement accounts. Emma started her freshman year of college last month. She chose a school 3 hours away, saying she needed space from all the drama. The distance has been hard, but we talk every day. She comes home most weekends, staying at my apartment rather than visiting her mom. We still cook together, try new recipes, and watch movies like we used to. My relationship with Emma has actually grown stronger through all this. She tells me she finally understands why I had to leave, seeing how her mom tried to destroy me rather than accept responsibility for her actions. She is doing well in her classes and has made several good friends who have similar interests in cooking and Harry Potter. Last week, Emma told me her mom tried to visit her at college. Brianna showed up unannounced at her dorm, crying about how much she missed her. Emma asked her to leave and called campus security when she refused. She said it was the hardest thing she ever had to do, but she could not forgive her mom for trying to ruin my life. I started dating recently, nothing serious just yet. A colleague set me up with his sister, Laura, who is also divorced. We have been on 4 coffee dates so far. She thinks it is great that I can cook and loves that I teach self-defense classes at the local gym on weekends. It feels strange dating after being with one person for 24 years, but also exciting to meet someone who appreciates me for who I am. Brianna still tries to reach me through mutual friends. Last month, she sent a message through Sarah saying she had changed and wanted to talk things out. She claimed therapy had helped her understand her toxic behavior. Sarah seemed surprised when I declined, saying Brianna appeared genuinely remorseful. I maintained my no-contact policy. Her lies could have cost me my job and my relationship with Emma. Some things cannot be forgiven, no matter how much time passes. The fact that she tried to paint me as gay to explain away her own bad behavior showed me exactly who she is. Looking back, leaving was the best decision I ever made. I no longer have to justify my interests or personality to anyone. I can bake cookies, sing along to Taylor Swift, or spend hours planning Harry Potter-themed parties without being mocked or criticized. Emma says I seem happier and more relaxed now. My dad, who just celebrated 30 years of sobriety, told me he was proud of how I handled everything. He said it takes real courage to walk away from a toxic situation, even when staying would be easier. Coming from him, that meant everything. To everyone who supported me through this journey, thank you. Your advice and kind words helped me stay strong when I doubted myself. For anyone in a similar situation, remember that leaving someone who makes you feel bad about yourself is not giving up. Sometimes it is the bravest thing you can do.